Well, I suppose the starting point was ISO 14001, which wasn't a country standard, it was an international standard, but as a basic framework. But then there were two dimensions to it. One is the European standard I've mentioned, EN 16001, which was at its final stages of development when this work began and was published last summer. So that has very much helped to set the framework, and there's been quite a lot of linkage between the two, and that will continue. The other standard, of course, is the American standard, MSE, Management Standard for Energy 2000. I think it was updated in 2008, I believe. So MSE 2000, again, has been part of the background framework that has come in. And I know those within ISO who are running the project overall have been looking at other countries' documentation and standards and so on. But I suppose those two have been the main sources of documentation for compatibility and consistency. At the moment, we were reviewing the document the other day, there is one line in there which talks about looking at energy purchasing strategies and identifying what they are. Now, one of the difficulties, well, there are two elements of this. When we wrote the European standard, the view was that this standard is all about managing energy that you are buying, and what you're paying for it and where you're getting it from is something that is not relevant to the standard. We're simply concerned with managing and minimizing the use of what you're buying. And if you then want to look at advice on how best to purchase, you go in other directions through other sources of reference. So there was quite a debate about whether or not energy purchasing should be in the standard, and it was reduced. And I think it's quite likely it may be taken out. And the other element here, which has got the same sort of argument behind it, is renewables. And, is this standard about encouraging green supplies? And the answer again is no. It doesn't matter where you get it from, what you pay for it, or whether it's from a wind farm or where, you've still got to manage it. Yes, it would certainly be appropriate to those institutions. I mean, universities and hospitals, their energy bills can be extremely high, and the standard would be relevant. I say it's been written to address any type of organisation. The standard, it enables you to develop management practices that are appropriate to your situation. So it's not telling you how you should do the job. It's telling you need to have practices in place that will achieve the following. And so the organisation has got to develop the details in terms of what it monitors, what it measures, how it looks for opportunities, what criteria it uses within the broader management frameworks. So the policy is set, which meets the standard, but the standard doesn't tell you what the policy's got to say. It tells you what the principles are and what the aims would be, but the organisation must develop its own specific details in that context.